Welcome back to the Making a Multi-Million-Dollar Med Spa podcast, where we have real conversations about what it takes to run a successful business. Thank you for joining us as we share our day-to-day successes and, even more importantly, failures and mistakes. Listen in as we host some of our peers, colleagues, and other experts in the field. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hi, I'm Kat Toronto. Welcome back to the podcast, The Making of a Multi-Million-Dollar Med Spa. And I'm here with Brenda Robbins, and she is just a powerhouse. I cannot wait for you all to meet Brenda, get to know her, and for her to have the opportunity to share with our listeners, because she has taught me so much over the years. And as she doesn't even know it, but how closely I follow her because of just her willingness to share, and obviously the successes that you've had, Brenda, but also just really you're just like kind heart and willingness to come down to Kansas City and hang out every once in a while.
Yeah, because you guys are fun.
Right back at you. Yeah.
Like fun people.
Yeah, I'm there with you. So just kind of getting started today, I'd love to hear, I know that you have two businesses, and actually you have two locations, but you have a plastic surgery clinic as well as an aesthetic center or med spa. And so just tell me a little bit about, like, you're in the beginning of the day, kind of what does your day look like at the clinic? Do you find yourself more behind the desk? Are you out and about with your team? What is that like?
Yeah. So my position is kind of director of operations. And you're right, we have really two businesses, three locations. Des Moines Plastic Surgery, and then Coachlight Clinic and Spa, which is right next to Des Moines Plastic Surgery physically, but then we have another location about 30 miles away. And so depending on the day, right, I go out to Ankeny, which is 30 minutes away, that location at least once a week, spend the day out there, talk to the manager, answer any questions, make sure things are efficient, talk to the people, getting to know them. It's a fairly newer office. Just, spending some time up there is really good, and talking about how we're going to grow. That's the main thing that we kind of talk about, is what's going on with the staff. How can we get people back into the practice to see them? Can we do any competitions with goals in mind and selling product and that sort of thing? And then the other days, I spend probably half of the time behind the desk, and I try to spend another half of the time just out and about and talking to people. I am hoping in the future I get more of that, because I find myself behind the desk even more and more and more. And so in the future, I hope to do more time in front of the staff and in front of managers and things like that, and just helping grow the business. It is easy to get behind the desk and do a bunch of emails and phone calls and all the administrative stuff all day long. But so always looking at the strategic side of things as well. The marketing person reports to me, so we're always talking about marketing. What are we going to do for the year? That's the time right now we're talking about budgeting for marketing. And what do we want to do? Because the staff is always wanting us to do this or that. We have great social media presence. We use support staff too externally to help us with some social media. That helps, because you can't be a jack of all trades when it comes to digital marketing, I feel like.
For sure. Sometimes I feel like I'm a jack of no trades when it comes to
Right.
I think, I'm getting better at this. I'm like, like I fall down the hill. Yeah.
The people that know what they're doing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so important. Well, let's talk a little bit about growth. So you're talking to your team members. And first off, I have to say, I think it is so easy to get stuck behind the desk, because there's like so many things going on. But you taking that amount of time, half your day and then full day at Ankeny, and what do you see the benefits are when you do take that time and you're just like, okay, I'm going to take half the day, I'm going to get out there, and what benefit do you see? Like, why did you choose to do that?
Well, it's hard too, because we're so busy. Our providers are in the rooms. like most of the day. So you might be out and about, but you might not even see them because they're just in and out. And then you try to talk to them and they're busy, which I want them to be busy, right? I want them to be in the room most of the day. And so our front desk is the first person people talk to, the first person people see. And so I've recently had to spend more time up there, which is really good for me because I get to see where we can make some efficiencies. I appreciate the job that they're doing because it is so important. I get to see how busy they are at certain times of the day where maybe we might need some more support. And just a lot of things like that, that if you're not there, you don't see that. And it's good as an owner to see the struggles that they might have during the day that you could maybe fix, with a simple configuration on the software behind the scenes to make their lives easier on a few things, getting a faster printer, getting a faster computer, little things like that really help. But, we all know, you and I both know that our staff are our assets, right? And so if they're not happy, I'm not happy. Basically.
Oh my gosh. And just the burnout, especially in that position where if it's the constant flow in and the constant flow out and the questions and the struggles that come with, software programs and all of those things. I mean, it really is looking at how can we avoid the burnout.
Yeah, for sure.
If they need to get up and walk a lap. It's
go
like,
walk,
go walk your lap.
Your watch is telling you to stand up.
Yeah. Oh my
Go
gosh,
walk.
I'm so tired of my Apple Watch shaming me.
I know.
You
I
can
have to
still
stop
do
mine.
it. It's 11:59 at night, but you can still make it.
I had to turn that off. It was just annoying me.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's talk about, I'm going to step back to the growth piece and the conversations that you're having right now with your marketing team and your providers. And when you consider doing things like whether it's a promotion for the month or a membership, and interested to hear about what you think about that. What type of promotions or is the membership do you think that has been the most successful?
We started doing a membership program, I would say 3 or 4 years ago on the clinical side of things, because we have a spa too, and we had a membership with that, but we kind of stopped doing it. But on the clinical side, we see that getting people into a membership, and for ours is you pay it up front for that whole year. We don't have, our system isn't easy to do like a monthly charge on their card for a membership. So we do it's almost like a package up front, but we call it a membership. And it has everything they need in there to maintain healthy anti-aging skin for the year. And it's not really customized, but we feel like we have our halos, our BBLs, our hydrofacials, our products in there that we can kind of massage a little bit, but the price is about the same for each person. So we call that our membership, which is great because then they have it's paid up front, and then they come in at certain times of the year. You got to do your treatments every so often in order to maintain that anti-aging face of yours that you want to keep ongoing.
So I'm going to dig some details out of you on this because we have, well, I'm not going to go into that. I just want to know, so when you set up this yearly program, so you mentioned Halo, BBL, skincare, and you can adjust it a little bit. And so is there one set price or can they buy in at different levels? How does that work?
So we have 3 levels. I can't remember what they're called because we changed them recently. So that was someone who doesn't want to spend, it's like not a lot of money, a little bit of money, really you need 2 halos and, 4 BBLs and you need all this skincare. So, and then those in between hydrofacials that you like to have for maintaining as well. So yeah, we have 3 different levels, which seems to accommodate most people. And those were really created by our estheticians because they see enough people that they know consistently what they're doing for those people who at different budget levels, really.
And so at these 3 different budget levels, do they get the same level of discount?
Yeah. So the same level of discount, but the number of treatments is different.
Okay.
And then also,
so it's a better value as you move up.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And then you also get 10% off any other treatments that you want to do, injectables, product ongoing, if you buy more product, that type of thing.
Okay, so within those three packages, the injectables are not included at all. It's lasers, hydrofacials, at-home skincare. I love that. We have this program that's not, we don't call it a membership at all, which is why I love what you're saying, because we offer it. It's the only package that we offer year round. And we call it the Stay Forever Young package, but it's BBL, Halo, and hydrofacials. But there's only there's two levels, but still, I like how you're presenting it and then how it gives them 10% off of other things, because this past year we've been looking back on it to see how many times have we offered that, how many people are booking it, are they rebooking? And we found that it's not as successful as we thought it would be. And so when we talked to our team, they were like, well, I'd like to be able to do this instead. Or they'd like to be able to do that instead. And so maybe just giving, one more option, or also giving them that discount off would help the team to look at it as like this yearly plan. And honestly, when you put that under a membership umbrella, it switched in my brain. Mm-hmm. Like, even though we've been offering something similar, but just called a membership, but it's still just done in your same software.
Right. It's really a package.
Yeah. So smart.
So, and they can massage it a little bit, because some, providers like a certain product better than the other, and that's okay. They'll just discount it and make it fit into that. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. So talking about products, what are your most successful product lines?
I would say most recently, Elastin is probably our most successful line, and Zeo. We have a lot more Zeo products. It seems like it's more of our anti-aging line, and the Elastin is more of our post-treatment line. So post-treatment lasers and things like that. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But they love both of those for sure.
Okay. So looking at technology and products and treatments and software, or whatever part of what we do, when you look at kind of your day-to-day or what we're going to be implementing in the future, what are you the most excited about right now?
Well, we hope to add some more clinic rooms to grow. So we're excited about that. The providers are also excited because they feel like they have to book so far out now with their patients, because we don't have enough rooms and equipment to get people in sooner. And so they're sharing a lot of equipment. So we're excited about that. And on the surgical side of things, we're excited about bringing on another surgeon, hopefully this fall. So kind of ramping up and getting ready to bring on another surgeon, which will be a big deal for us. So it's always been, Dr. Robbins for, 20 years. And so bring another body in, although he's still the only man here. So
you're going to find a female surgeon.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, that just reminded me, did you take his name?
I didn't officially. It depends on who I talk to.
What's that? Okay.
Yeah.
I said that earlier. And then when you said that, I thought, wait a second, I'm not so sure.
I didn't officially, but if I it depends on who I talk to. If I'm out and about with friends or whatever, I use Robbins. When I'm at work, I just always use Bohnenkamp. I don't know. I don't want to be looked at as, the doctor's wife. I have a job here and I take it very seriously and very personally. And so I don't want people to think that, oh, she's just working here, because that's his wife. But
right.
I have the business background. I love what I do. I love building up businesses. We've done a couple other businesses on the side, and I've loved working for them, that business too. So, yeah.
Well, I definitely am going to talk, in the intro to the podcast, a little bit more about your background. But if you don't mind sharing, kind of the size, because you mentioned you want more clinic rooms, how big is your clinic now? How many rooms do you have now? To kind of give our listeners an idea, or if you want to talk about gross revenue, anything like that, happy to hear that as well. Attention, aesthetic professionals. Mark your calendar for the Mint Aesthetics Virtual Immersion Training Day on June 16th. Join me that Friday for a deep dive training covering the details of BBL, halo, and combination treatments. Designed for owners and providers alike, the day will cover technology, settings, technique, and post-care, all for one price for your entire team. In the morning, we have a special guest with a dedicated topic to give you a focused look into the operations of a medical aesthetic practice. From marketing to treatment skills, we will bring you the experts who have made our own clinics so successful. Register to attend the virtual immersion course at mintaesthetics.com/group-training. We'll see you there.
Yeah, we have 15 clinic rooms. Some of them are spa though. So we have 4 spa rooms and then the rest are clinic. And then we have the surgery side of things, which is separate. But yeah, so we moved to this building in 2017. And we were at another location. We could have stayed there, but we wanted to grow and wanted to invest in ourselves as well. So we bought the land, built the building, and we we didn't think we'd be growing out of it in 5 years, 6 years, you know?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And I started when we had 2 people and I was front desk. I was playing nurse in the consults. I was doing marketing. I was office manager. I would, the jack of all trades back then. And so growing from like 2-3 staff to now we have a 37 to 40 or so. We have a couple outstanding new hires that we want to hire. So about 40 employees.
Brenda, you have done so much. And just to hear, you've played all the roles, you've filled all of those shoes. And I think it's just so helpful to have done that, to know what's going on in the rooms, what's going on at the front desk, because you've done all of that.
And at first it was hard to give it up in a way because you want to have so much control over your own business and what's going on. So it was hard at first to let go of those responsibilities, let go of someone else managing the people and all that. But I've been really blessed to have some really great office managers that have really represented just the company and the staff and being supportive of the staff and all that. So we've really been blessed that way.
So how does it feel now that you've let go?
It's good. It's good. I have good days and bad days, but no, it's fine. You get used to it after a while, and you just have to sometimes you just have to let things go. Even though you might not agree with it, it's just like, I gotta let it go, because it's not worth to, at least lose sleep over it. It's the best thing, for the company to do this or that or whatever. So, yeah.
I love that. I really think about, because there are certain things that I'm still even letting go of. And, but to look and not, for multiple reasons, but just, I love looking at my team and focusing on like, every success that I get to help and support is like just a success for the whole company, which then feels like it's a success for me too, even if I didn't really have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like, I want you to be so successful. And then I get to it's just so great. It kind of takes some of the, then I'm like, here you go. And here you go. And here you go, and they are just, so many, our team like yours is just so amazing and so much smarter than me. And it's like, it's fun to see that growth without letting go.
For sure. And, the staff, they would say, well, I hardly see you, Brenda. So when I talk about I spend time, I don't spend half my time with my staff. I'm thinking about them. I'm looking at what are they doing and what is their, return rate of customer, how much are they selling? And are they kind of meeting expectations? And when you're married to someone and, like you and Matt, Dave and I talk about our staff all the time. We think about the business all the time. So it's almost too much. You have to really step away from the business so that you can have a life and not talk about it constantly. But the staff is always on my mind, and I'm always looking at the staff and what they're doing and making sure they have what they need and things like that. And when do we need another machine? And why isn't that one being used? And do we need to move on to something else? And, those types of things that you have to think about from a business perspective. So because the staff, they want to use the best machines out there, they're going to give the best results. And that's what we want to offer too. Start offering things that don't provide good results, then you just get a bad name, and we don't want that at all.
Definitely. Well, I can always tell when something is really going to do great because our team wants the treatment. They will come in early or stay late to have it done, or they somehow work each other in during the day. They want their family members to have it,
Yeah.
It's like those things. I'm like, this is going to be amazing. And because they're like me, I mean, I do not want to sell or talk about anything that I don't fully believe in.
Right.
And I would never want or ask them to do that either.
Right. For sure.
But so, you'd mentioned earlier talking about incentives for your team or competitions that you put together. And, what do those look like? What do you find that your team responds the best to or makes them kind of feel the most success or work the hardest type of thing?
Well, whenever there's a monetary, reward at the end, that's what makes them roll. And so we do more of that in Ankeny because we're trying to grow. And we've done it not recently in West Des Moines because we have so many staff. But we talked about want to get back to that, where everybody's working towards a goal. And so if you make that goal, then you get this. We did that last year when, Allergan with CoolSculpting, if you made your goal, you got $15 extra per cycle for everyone that if you met your goal and then beyond that. And so all of that money that Allergan was going to give us as a business, we just gave it back to the staff and said, you guys all make the goal. And then if you go beyond that, every cycle that that we get $15, you're getting it. It's not like, it was just like a competition, which
awesome.
Was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, so we do a spring competition over 3 months. So January, February, March, my competition. Yeah. So, I mean, if they're the personality that's similar to me, I get it, But yeah, I love to kind of hear what other clinics are doing because we're always looking at, what can we do differently? What could, make things a little bit more fun and kind of remind everybody while we're here.
Yeah. Or if you have like a new product and you want everybody to use it themselves, but also sell it. So if we had a new product and we want everybody to educate their patients on it, then we'll do like a goal. You have to sell this many in this month, and then you get this or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Very cool. So is there anything that you've, as you've grown from just a couple of people to 15 rooms, thinking back to some of the technology, whether it's a laser that made a big impact, or maybe it's a software program, or it's something like Friend Media or RX Photo, or, your EMR or Vizia, is there any little or not little, maybe something that seemed a little bit became big that's made, that you can think, oh, I'm so glad we did that.
Yeah. CoolSculpting. We were the first people in Iowa to offer CoolSculpting, and we had the biggest, when we were at the other office, we had almost 100 people attend our January, because we had just gotten it like the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And now we were kind of doing it and we were ready for an event. And so we had an event, had so many people, we couldn't even get them in the door. It was freezing outside, and they couldn't close the doors because people were standing it was just a smaller office. So we had people down the hallways, and it was
wow, what a great problem.
Yeah, everybody was so excited to hear about this new, non-surgical fat reduction technology. And within 2 months, we bought another machine. So, and it just went gangbusters for several years. It was crazy. And so that kind of was our non-surgical experiment. We spent a lot of money on that machine. We ended up buying another one, and it was well worth it. So then that kind of made Dr. Robbins think about, well, hey, this non-surgical stuff is pretty good. I don't have to work as hard. And when I'm on vacation, I can still make some money, And so that's when we started investing in other machines as well.
Oh, so you're still offering CoolSculpting?
Yeah, the elite version. Mm-hmm.
And do you like it? Your team still likes it?
Yeah, yeah. We have one machine here and then one in Ankeny as well. It's not, it's a little overpopulated, I guess, with machines in our area. So, we're not the only ones anymore. So a lot of people have it. So you have a lot of competition, but we've been doing it the most. We try to advertise, we've done the most cycles, we're the most experienced and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still busy with it.
Yeah, we've had a similar experience. So with the laser piece, or what is or not even laser, but just kind of overall revenue, whether it's injectables, lasers, CoolSculpting, that non-surgical medical aesthetic practice, what are the most popular treatments?
Botox is the most popular.
Yeah.
Dysport is becoming more popular. Not at the same level as Botox is, but I call Botox our gateway drug.
Mm-hmm.
You get them in and you get them hooked on Botox and you cross sell to other services. It's easy because they're doing Botox because of their wrinkles. And so when you have other services that also will help with that, like your lasers and even the filler and things like that, it's just easy to cross sell in those situations. But
Mm-hmm.
definitely, Botox it's just so popular. And it's not, people talk about it now. It's not shamed like it used to be,
I mean, it's highlighted
Yeah,
on TikTok and Instagram Reels, and
right.
it's like they want to film it while they're having it now. I mean,
Yep.
that part of our business alone is so different.
Mm-hmm. I know, and I'm all about that. I'm like, can I film this? Yeah. And you
Yeah.
can post it and you can share it and you can do whatever you
Tag
want.
us. Yeah. And do you want me to hold the camera for you?
Yeah, you might get someone in here to help with that. We can do some good angles and
Yeah.
get the light right.
Oh my gosh. Well, when you think back, over the last few years, what do you think have been one or two of like your growing moments? What have the struggles been, or the learning moments?
I would say and I hate to mention COVID, but when we had to close and just dealing with, like, I was super busy when we were closed, but no one else was because they're all at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, on the business side, we're thinking about how can I get my PPP loan? What do I need to do? You got to gather all this information. What's legal? What's not legal? What about medical and dental? So on the business side, like, I was super busy talking with all of our insurance and, payroll and legal and all that stuff. So learning that was beneficial because, our staff appreciated being paid and us getting that PPP loan right away instead of having to go on unemployment, and then maybe later getting that your pay from the PPP loan. But and then just when we came back, we kind of anticipated, because we had to reschedule so many people. We ended up doing online booking while we were closed and implemented that. And it has been the best thing since then. We do so much online booking. It is crazy. There's no way we could have so many providers and be so full without that.
Which online booking system do you use?
Next, I think it's Next Patient. We use like several different back office
programs.
ones.
Yeah. So with that, okay, so let's say, can any client, patient that wants to book an appointment, whether they've been there or not, book online?
Yeah, but not all treatments can be booked. You can be a new patient or an existing patient, and you can book Botox, fillers, hydrofacials, our facials, Visia skin analysis, consults,
Mm-hmm.
things that have a definite like time frame, whether it's a half an hour or an hour.
Mm-hmm.
There's some like CoolSculpting, we can't book that online because it depends on how many cycles you're doing and things like that, where it varies. We can't book those, but we have a ton of people just going online to book Botox and fillers.
Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about this for honestly a few years, which that sounds kind of sad, I know, but it's just always like this is why I'm asking these details, because it's some of these details that have held us back.
Mm-hmm.
And figuring out the best method, and then not losing out on, like, would it have been better to book them as a consultation, or would it be better just to get them in for Botox and then book the consultation? These types of questions that I
Yeah.
think, and it sounds like you're telling me no matter what, across the board, it's like one of the best things you've ever done.
Yes. I mean, hundreds are booked. I mean, it's crazy. And then they'll do it in the middle of the night. They do it on the weekends, whenever they're sitting watching TV. That's what's nice about it, is that they don't have to wait till you're open, and they're working as well. I mean, we get an email every time someone books. The reception gets an email just to verify like everything is there. We send their paperwork, we text them their paperwork. It's just a good process and saved a lot of time for our staff. Yeah.
I love that. Maybe I should have you on the e-course and you can teach an online booking lesson. Here are all the steps. Here's all the paperwork you need. Here's the program you should use. And then
well, the thing is, like, we had to choose a software package that works with Nextech, because we use Nextech and not everybody uses Nextech. So we were limited, but it does work well though.
Well, that's been our problem too, because we use Patient Now. They don't have an open API, but they're apparently launching or have launched a new platform that can do some of these things. And some changes are supposedly coming, but until they're done, they don't really matter until it's buttoned up and we can use it. So, so I'm just really curious about that, because I am that person. I get on and book my son's haircut at like 10:45 at night, when I'm thinking about it. It's just so much, it's just easy when you think about it, you can do it. So I definitely see the value in it. At Mint Aesthetics, we understand that your schedule can be demanding. That's why our e-course training programs provide you with the flexibility to learn at your own pace, wherever and whenever you want. Whether you're at home on the couch, out of the country, or in between client treatments, Mint Aesthetics makes it convenient for you to expand your aesthetic skills. Take advantage of the opportunity to advance your career through treatment technique, improved results, clinic operations, and more. Visit our website at mintaesthetics.com to explore our wide range of online e-courses. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, very valuable. And I'm the same way. It's like being on Facebook at night and like, do I really need to buy that? Why not? And then you say,
a glass of wine, I'll take 2.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about before we end today? Anything that that maybe came up during the conversation that we didn't touch on, or something you thought about before that I didn't ask?
I don't think so. I mean, I think just really, if your business is growing, you guys got to have the support staff there to support what you're growing into. And that's probably the important thing. And, training is so important as well. We send our staff to you guys for training all the time. I think one of our staff is going there on Monday.
I saw that. We appreciate that. We're excited.
Yeah. I mean, for us, it's close. And we've had really good training there. So that's the other thing. You're growing, you got to make sure your staff is trained, not only on the services, but just credentialing and knowing the business and knowing the services is so important.
Well, definitely. And I think, how you were saying, kind of knowing your business now and then looking to the future. And, we both have been working through a new partnership with CPP. And so, I think if there's any comment you want to share about that, we'd love to hear it. So CPP is Cosmetic Physician Partners, and, working to bring on clinics from all over the country. The goal for 2022 was 5 clinics. I think we closed. There's 14 clinics that joined in that 12-month process. So it's just like growing faster than CPP could have ever imagined. And I've loved it because I've gotten to see you, even if it's just on a call, or see your name pop up. And so I just really enjoy working with you. And there are other partners like, Dr. Jay Burns and Dr. Joel Cohen, and so many great people that have joined. And so maybe just share, what was it that drew you to doing something like that with a clinic that's already so successful that you guys are up and going, and, you definitely don't need to join a group.
I think that it was just, we were ready for some additional support on the business side of things. Our onboarding for new staff is so easy now. I mean, just little things that you just don't realize that take you so much time. Just finding someone, doing the interviews, getting them in here, and then onboarding with all of the stuff that you have to onboard them with. It's just, that process has been great. And just the support is what we liked about CPP, knowing that we could still run the business as we run our business, because we know how, obviously, right? That's why we chose them and they chose us. And not having to report to anybody on a day-to-day basis. You know, we're still doing our thing. We're still, you know, keeping the wheels on and doing what we need to do. But just, we have that added support on the business side, which is so nice. And that's how I kind of explained it to the staff. I said, you know, we continue to support you with training, with machines, and whatever you need. We need to make some changes on the business side, because in a few years, we're going to be above 50 employees. And I don't want to deal with that. All the legal stuff that goes around with, you know, having more than 50 employees, and the accounting was too much, and the HR stuff ended up being so much. And so just all that side of things is really nice to have.
I think I have also loved so many of the things that you spoke about or shared. But one thing I do want to comment about is the hiring process, because no matter if you're a clinic that has 3 people or 5 people, or you're a clinic that has 40 people, you know, finding the right team member makes all the difference. And so just as we had finished signing with CPP, we had 2 hires we needed to make. And so I thought, I'm going to try the CPP way. Let's see what happens. And so I talked to the recruiter, and within 2 weeks, I had multiple interviews. I hired one of those spots within 3 weeks, the other one within 4 weeks, and I was up and going. And I spent very little time.
Yeah.
And they are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been.
You don't realize how much time you're spending doing all those things, when you can just say, okay, here's my job description. You do what you do, and then let me know, and I'll have the in-person interview. And then here's your link to onboarding. And then they do all
link to onboarding. Yeah. It's the little things. It's the little things that mean so much.
You know, if you have any questions about legal stuff or HR stuff, you don't have to like call up an expensive lawyer, and, you know, or an HR consultant or something. They're there, and that's why they're there to help you. So,
right. I think the other thing that I have really enjoyed is the next level financial breakdown. All the data that comes through on every single procedure, every single provider, every minute. I mean, like, as much data as you could possibly want, and too much, really, but is given to us in a way that we can read and use and implement to grow. And Daniel is ridiculously smart, and I have loved that. And I just tell them, like, tell me where I can improve. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Give me that first, you know. Yeah. Like, I want to know the bad. Like, come on, give me that. I want to see, what can I change? How can I grow? You know, what can I do differently? Yeah. And so it's been really great for us as well. So
we haven't gotten those reports yet, but we're looking forward to them this month. They said we were going to get some. So that's the thing too, is like with Nextech, you can't get that data very easily. And so having them provide that and then explain what it means, then we're just gonna have a ton of ideas on, you know, how to grow and how to improve. I just know it.
Right. I mean, we've already started to implement some. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we would love to have you guys down to Kansas City for some drinks.
Okay.
Or Chiefs. Not Chiefs. Well, no. Not till next season.
But the Super Bowl.
I know. Go Chiefs. So thank you so much, Brenda, for being on today. Truly just respect you so much. And you're just such a joy to have on. Thank you for sharing everything with our Mint listeners. Yes. And we'll see you soon at the CPP get together.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. We would love it if you left a review to help other providers and clinics find us. Also, if you want more information about anything we discussed in this episode, check out our show notes. Until next time, this has been the Making a Multi-Million Dollar Med Spa podcast.